Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast.
This is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we guess what it's sold for from Hemmings Sold Car Roundup. Plus, this week's auto recalls. Give you a couple of headlines in there just to tease you. Jeff will bring us some car culture. And Mr. Mars reviews the new Ford Explorer. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Thanks so much for joining us on this beautiful Saturday.
It is gorgeous.
Here in the Houston, Texas area.
People out walking early in the morning.
Yeah.
Kathy went for a walk.
And guess what? Summer is just that far away.
It's like 8 days from here.
It'll be here before you know it.
90 degrees this week.
And then
for
locusts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, back to BJ and the Bear.
BJ and the Bear, yes.
So our outstanding internet audience.
Yes.
We had Jeff and George both looked it up, checked it out for us. 2 years, 2 seasons.
2 seasons.
Which was two
Well,
seasons
that's not
too
2
long.
years. That's 2 seasons.
Yeah, okay.
Like
2
a year
seasons.
and a half.
Started in February of 79, ended in May of 81.
There you go.
The series was produced when the CB radio and trucking craze had peaked in the United States.
It had already peaked.
The truck lasted longer than the show.
They're a little bit slower to get it on the air.
I drilled a hole right back smack dab in the middle of my Chevrolet Monza.
I know where this is going.
Mounted my CB antenna. The Texas Skywave was my handle. What was yours?
Silverado.
Silverado. And what was yours, Jeff?
I don't remember. I didn't have one for that
I had a
long.
license, too.
Went out of the cab and up in the first post holes in the bed of the truck. Had dual whips.
I could see that with you over there in Nederland.
Yes, sir.
You were styling, brother.
I was.
And you had your ponytail and all that?
No, not then.
Oh.
When was the pony? Was that post?
No.
Whip antennas?
I never worked where I could have a ponytail. I had to do all that before I got.
It was the wig that you used to have that had the ponytail on it.
Yeah. And it worked pretty good till it would blow off and go out the sunroof.
Well, that would be a Merkin. Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. I'm not even going to do the stories right now because I'm not going to be able to keep myself composed. But I thought I thought that we would have some recalls to tell you about. And guess who's up at the top of the list again?
Mercedes.
Ford.
Oh.
Blank or distorted rear view camera image. These are all 2015 models. Expedition, F-250, 350, 450, Lincoln MKC, Lincoln Navigator, and the F-150 for 2025. For whatever reason, big jump there. Anyway, that's a missing dashboard airbag warning label. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's being recalled for a label.
Yeah. They wouldn't sell me one. They wouldn't sell me a car because of a label.
Really?
Yeah.
Couldn't they just put that in the mail to you or something?
Nope.
Improperly secured battery may cause a fire in the Ford F-150 Lightning BEV.
Battery fire and a Lightning.
A battery fire and a
Nice.
Lightning. Imagine such a thing. Engine failure. We've done this a dozen times, but 21 to 24 model years of the 6.2-liter V8 Cadillac Escalade, Escalade ESV, Chevy Silverado 1500, Suburban, Tahoe, Sierra 1500, Yukon, and Yukon XL. 21 through 24, engine failure. It's a recall. Now they're talking about, screw it, we're not going to mess with it anymore. We're just going to replace the whole thing altogether. Way to go.
Oh, boy.
Have you noticed we went for decades without cars that had engine failures? We didn't have engine failures.
Well, they were there. It's just that they weren't.
No, not to this scale.
Yeah, not to this day, but they were out there.
I remember my buddy, Nick, whose dad bought him a 69, brand new, from Richardson Chevrolet, brand new, orange and black, Z28 with the DZ 302 motor in it. He went through 5 motors and they said, we are not buying you another motor, because he'd over-rev it.
Yes.
He'd over-rev the motor and it'd blow it up. And they finally said, we're not going to pay for it anymore.
No mas.
And Dad said, you're not having the car anymore. They had to trade the car in and buy something other than that.
Well, that was one of the things that made the Z28 so hot was the fact that little motor combination.
Well, it was a solid
It revved so fast.
Right. It revved to 7,000 RPM, and it had solid lifters in it that if you didn't adjust the lifters, you were screwed.
Yep.
And a good night of racing at the drag strip, you better take those valve covers off and adjust those lifters again. Because
Because if you hit 7,000, if you're not really quick with that clutch, that engine is going to bump 8, maybe even 9 before you get it back under control.
Yeah, there's that.
And then you're sideways.
You are.
Yep.
Yeah, as the hood comes through the engine. By the way, George's CB handle was atomic bomb.
Atomic bomb. Okay, George. That seems fitting. Mm-hmm. It does. Duck and cover.
Yeah,
that would have been a good one. Okay, so every week we take the Hemmings Sold Car Roundup, which is the cars that they have sold online, and we pick a few out of there, and I give the boys something to shoot for when it comes to the sold price. So I just thought, well, let's start with this one. This is a clone, a 1966 Pontiac GTO convertible. Now, I don't care whether it's a clone. That's fine with me because it keeps the price down low. Well, so what would it be? It'd be a Pontiac Le Mans, right?
Right.
From 1966 that somebody turned it into a clone, made it look like a GTO. It's a convertible, butternut yellow with looks like a white interior.
Is that Tempest or Le Mans?
No, I think
this would be the Le Mans by that time.
Yeah. So what do you think that would sell for? Now, let me just preface this by saying, I think you might be surprised what it would sell for. It is a clone, because I had to look that up. Okay?
I'm going to set out, just because I know a story about a different clone, but I'm going to set out at 28.
I'm going to go 14.
Jeff says 12. Jeff Heitzman.
Jeff H. says 12. I say 14.
19,425.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, you know what? For 20 grand, I'm buying that.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful car.
I have a buddy that he had a 1969 Dodge Super B convertible with a Hemi in it.
A clone.
Well, it was a clone. But, I mean, people would look at it and say, oh,
Did they build Super B convertibles?
No, it was a satellite that he took the convertible because he wanted a convertible.
Okay.
Put the Super B package on, and I mean, he fooled tons of people that thought, oh, it must be one of 10 or something. No, they didn't build it.
It's one of 9 million.
Well, speaking of which, here's one that I know that I'm going to offend some people that are into this, but I think
what's new?
I think that car is really ugly. This is a 1966 Plymouth Barracuda.
My aunt had one. She had a black one, and it was gorgeous.
Well, this is not gorgeous, but it looks like it's all there. It probably doesn't have a straight fender on it, but lots of Bondo. But whatever. A 66 Plymouth Barracuda. What does that say? You can't read
I
that.
can't tell.
Anyway, they say it's a Barracuda. I'm going to believe them with that great big ugly back glass. That
glass is expensive. That is a rare item there.
So what do you think that car sold for at no reserve at Hemmings online?
I would say $6,000 for the car and 12 for the back glass.
I would
$6,000 for the car.
I would say maybe 10. Heitzman says 13.
And does George chime in on this one?
No.
Okay. So it sold for $9,500.
Oh, very good.
10 was close, yeah.
No.
If
I got $9,000, it ain't going to be on that.
Probably because those wheels. That wheel package is awesome.
They buy they buy it to put make race cars out of them.
Okay.
Well, look. Well, it's got prime wheel tires. Look in front of the back wheel. That's an exhaust pipe.
It is.
Yeah, I had one like that. I had that on my Nova too.
Okay. Next up.
Prowler.
Okay. Well, you could probably tell already that is not a stock factory paint job because they never painted the car that way. Why? Because it's ugly. It's orange with a black top on it and a black convertible. The car is very cool. My dad loved that car. My dad did.
Did they come with a top? I don't think they came with a top.
Yeah, little cloth top. The car's not very big.
No, it's a two-seater.
And I had one out at the press fleet. Oh,
Really?
my God. It had a V6 in it that had no horsepower, but every time you'd tromp on it, it'd twist the frame. The whole thing was just loosey-goosey. You could tell, kind of like a PT Cruiser.
Oh,
One of those. Remember the PT?
I had one.
Golly,
A
what
company car.
Oh, horrible.
They were cheap and they were easy company cars.
Yeah. So 99 Plymouth Prowler. What do you think that sold for?
$11,000.
Well, not that cheap.
No. I'm going to say 22.
All right. I'm out then because I don't think it's worth it.
Heitzman says 26.
32,000.
See, that's
And that ugly paint job, it's not factory, it's not stock. No, that ruins the whole thing to me. All right, moving on to number
go.
4 rather. This would be a 1966 Lincoln Continental convertible.
looks in pretty decent shape.
It does. It's like, butternut yellow.
Yeah, isn't
It's
it?
got full wheel covers on it, white wall tires. It looks
Black
clean.
convertible. Sure, black leather.
I'm thinking that this car may be an original,
Could be.
but it's beautiful.
Michael?
For what it is. What do you think, Michael?
I'm going to go 14. I think it's more of a
14.
Somebody's going to want that. Yeah.
Okay. Jeffrey?
I'll go 12.
And Mr. Heitzman?
30.
30.
And
The
winner?
actual retail value of this sold car, it sold for $66,100.
What?
I gave you a
There
hint.
must be a lot of powder in the trunk. So
What hint did you give? It's
The- the-
butternut yellow.
The hint was
It's
it looks
a
like it's
Continental.
all original.
Oh, well. All original can mean a torn seat. It could be
Whatever.
The rear end's crunched in.
Yeah.
You can't
No,
see it.
this looks like a very clean original car.
What's that on the grill?
Probably a doctor's badge or something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, because that was the thing back in the day. Remember, you used to
Shriners.
have-
It looks like a Shriners emblem.
well, whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Man,
Now then, next up,
not even close.
a 1988 Nissan Pathfinder. This is at the beginning of the SUV era. This also was Nissan's way of saying, here's our Yukon.
Yeah.
So let's call it an SUV.
And I'm sorry, the year again?
88.
88. I'm going to go 10 grand.
I was thinking 14.
Really? Huh.
It's another one of those things that it's,
No reserve.
yeah.
What did that sell for?
Heitzman says 33.
$3,000.
The tires are worth that.
I was just
That's
gonna,
what I would think.
I was just going to say, you know what? $3,000, I'd buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a good little knock
that-
around town car.
That would be a great car for a kid going
Yeah.
to high school.
Yeah.
$3,000. Look at it; it's clean.
The way it gets dinged up, bent
And who
up.
cares?
Why?
It's got a big catcher on the front there. Big
Now you
motor.
know Jeff's about to get a big promotion.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No.
And this is the car that he's going to select.
Oh, boy.
It's a 1999 Mercedes-Benz SL 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a nice looking car. I don't know the mileage on it, but let me just say that it's super clean, and it's the SL 500. So it's a 4-seat, 2-door convertible, kind of minty green.
21.
21. Mars?
Oh, I was thinking more like 36.
36. Okay.
I have no idea.
What did Jeff say?
39.
39. 26. 250.
And that's if it hasn't been recalled.
Well.
Recalls are no extra charge.
Yeah. When
Guess
do
we're
they
not
stop the
getting Mercedes.
recalls? Is there a limit to recalls? 25 years or something?
I don't know.
I think so.
Okay. And
Depends on how good
finally,
your lawyer is.
we have Jeff Heitzman's new ride,
Saddle River Township. Woohoo!
a 1929 American LaFrance fire truck. Open cab. Okay. and it's got the running boards and the back running board. What do you recall that thing back there?
The back running board. Yeah. It's where they stand, right?
Yeah.
The firemen stand.
Well, they used to be that way,
Yeah.
not anymore. But yeah, 1929 American LaFrance fire truck. What would that you think run you?
Man, the thing is fully restored.
It does.
I'm going to bump 40.
Oh, okay. I wasn't thinking that high. I'll go 32.
32.
Heitzman says 9.
$40,425.
Good job.
But
Nice.
what do you do with something like that?
Parades,
It doesn't.
museums.
No, but where do you store it? It ain't going in the garage.
In your firehouse museum.
There you go.
And this looks like it's whatever place this is at is. It's not. So that's a firehouse there, but it's got a car in the garage.
All right, so let's move on and do the 1984. This is the businessman sedan. This is something that you would drive on your rounds
No, I
around
wouldn't.
town. 1984 Mercedes-Benz 500 SEL. This is a nice car.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was top of the heap.
17.
17.
No, I'd say it's probably still about 20.
Okay.
Heitzman says
35.
$10,500.
There you go, Mr.
Now,
Businessman.
hey,
Business.
little Johnny, you just turned 16. You got your driver's license. Here's your brand new car to go along with it. 10 grand. You wreck that thing, whatever it is that you run into, it's toast. What does that thing weigh? 10,000 pounds?
I don't know.
Probably so.
Probably
Yeah.
so.
All right, and last but not least, it's a thing.
Bang.
A
Got a fine.
It's a 1974 Volkswagen, what they term as a 181. I think it's a South American car. Okay? And so here in the States, we called it the Volkswagen Thing. 1974 Thing. What did that sell for?
$7 grand. We call it a POS.
It had no horsepower, but Mr. Barnes?
No, I'm going to say 18. Heitzman says 23.
And Jeff says 7.
7.
$8,900.
See, 8,000. I would buy one.
See, but here's the issue. Those things were born to rust.
Yes.
They had, and that's why you don't see very many of them because they've all melted away
Can
in
they
the
have
junkyard.
plugs in the floor to let the water out?
I don't remember.
And it's got a propeller on the top.
Yeah, but even if it don't have a hole, you can make a hole.
Well, yeah. Well, that car ain't lasting long. You'd have to completely disassemble it and fix it,
I take it to the beach.
or a beach.
There you go. That'd be a beach car, Mike.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
you keep that down at the beach.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
for
go for it.
8,000, I would.
You missed
can't
the-
even buy a new golf cart for that.
You missed an opportunity.
Missed an
Man.
opportunity.
Hate it when that happens.
Just ahead, Jeff's Car Culture and a review of the 2025. What do you got?
Ford Explorer.
Ford Explorer. Woohoo! It's coming up. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is back after this.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
Hey, In-Wheel Time hits the road again. Our next stop, Granbury, for the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run. Join our live broadcast on June the 14th from 9 to noon. Special extended show that day at an extended show time. Thanks for being with us today here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Let's check in with Jeff's Car Culture.
You betcha. Despite the overall solid and stable market of classic cars. There are some cars that have actually lost their value. This first one we have is a 1957 Ford Thunderbird. The Ford Thunderbird was fresh. Everybody loved it. The car wasn't excessively oversized. Rather, a two-seater, came with a well-proportioned design. The removable top as well as a panoramic windshield were highly appreciated among the young drivers. In 57, the model had a 202 cubic inch V8. It was improved by mating it to twin McCulloch superchargers. This stock modification aimed to increase the power outlet to 300 horsepower and 340 pounds worth of
That's stout.
Yep. Now, this, back in the day, or not very long ago, actually a couple of years ago, this car was 40 grand. Today it's less than 30. It's about 29.4 is what they value it today. And this is according to Haggerty. The next one we have on the plate is a 1957 Pontiac Bonneville. Gorgeous car. The Pontiac Bonneville was only produced in 56 and 57. It's a very expensive car back in the day. The reason it was priced that way, it was higher than its competitors with a limited production. They only made 630 of these units, and each of the units was destined. Each of the units was destined for the Pontiac dealerships on the U.S. side. Nothing went abroad, and you know how you like broads. The Bonneville presented some outstanding features that were pretty uncommon on most 50s cars. Everything was power. Everything was electric. So it was a high-class, very quality car. Back not very long ago, it was $112,500. Today, it's about $73 grand.
Wow.
Yeah. Jaguar 65, the Jaguar E-Type SI 4.2. In response to the American Corvettes and the German Porsche, Jaguar released the stunning and beautiful E-Type, which was also called the most beautiful car ever made by Enzo Ferrari himself. So he tagged that. Presented in 61 at the Geneva Motor Show, the speechless audience was amazed by its aircraft-inspired lines and some innovative technical solutions. Back in the day, not very long ago, the car was 130 grand. Today, it's a little over 100 grand. So it has lost some value there. The next one we have is a 1953 to 1954 Cadillac Eldo. Gorgeous car.
Oh, my God. Look at the size of that thing.
I know.
They all say that.
Yes, they do. The Cadillac Eldorado was the most luxurious model produced by the car manufacturer up to that time. Every single detail of the car bears a sense of fanciness and just extraordinary. Starting from the car's name, some say the Eldorado was suggested in reference to the mythical city of gold. Some others reported that the same name was chosen at the Eldorado Country Club located in Coachella Valley, California, the favorite holiday location for the GM top executive management.
What are those things called? Dagmars.
Dagmars. Now, not very long ago, this car was $162,500. Today, it's about 120 grand. So it did lose value. Next, we have the 58 Ferrari 250 California long wheelbase. There's a difference. The most desirable Ferrari of all time is the 250 California.
No, it's not.
That's what they're telling me.
Okay.
The two-seater came in two different wheelbase versions, a short wheelbase model and a long wheelbase model. This one's the long. Extremely high-value collectible car, also due to limited production of only 50 units. The beating heart of the Ferrari 250 California is a 3-liter naturally aspirated V12. Produced some 240 horsepower, a little weak, while one of the 50 models in the good condition could possibly get $12,500,000. Today's value is about $9 million. So, there you go. Watch your money, people, when you're buying Ferraris. Don't just throw it away. The last one we have here, gorgeous car. I want one. The 1970 Buick Riviera GS, baby.
Who put the skirts on the back wheels?
I don't know, but I'd drive it. Oh, yeah, baby. Here we go. The Buick Riviera has a special role in the golden era of muscle car fleets. Due to the high-end nature of this car, it received a warm welcome since its very first release. It wasn't a muscle car like the others. Its luxury interior, completed by wooden details and fine leather seats, made the Riviera stand out. I agree. Also in 1970, the Grand Sport package was available. The Riviera wasn't only about details, but it was a car of substance. Bulky 455 cubic inch, developed 370 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 7.9. Back in the day, it was 20 grand. Today, you can get it for about $14,000.
Wow.
So there you go.
Hey, that's my future right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Get rid of the
skirts
Corvette.
and everything.
Yeah. Think that the Corvette's expensive to take care of? Can you imagine trying to find parts for that thing?
Plus, it's bigger than the Corvette. You need a bigger garage.
Time now for this hour's car review. Mr. Mars, the Ford Explorer.
Yeah, buddy. This is a 2025 Ford Explorer. Now, it comes
Explorer.
Explorer.
Explorer. The final assembly point is in Chicago, Illinois. I can get that part straight.
There you go.
4 trim levels: active, the ST line, and then the platinum, and then you have the ST standalone. Now, we happen to be driving the active, which is actually the base model. Now, this is considered a standard SUV. We used to call them midsize, but now they're standard. Seats 6 people because of the interior, the way we had it said. Now, it's been refreshed on the front and rear, and this is the 6th gen of this vehicle.
So they offer a bench seat in the front?
No. We have bucket seats in the second row. So it's 2, 2, 2.
Okay.
I was saving that for later,
Yeah.
but
We'll get to the interior part.
Yeah, we'll get to the interior part.
We'll get there.
So you're going to find you got the automatic LED headlights, taillights, fog lights, and even LED signature lamps. They make a big deal out of that.
Yeah, they do.
Heated side mirrors, got black roof rails, got a rear spoiler that's body colored, power lift gate, got the optional 20-inch 10-spoke wheels that we're rolling on. Now, this is the on the interior, it's got ActiveX seating material. Front seat is buckets. They're heated. Second row is buckets. Third row is a 50-50 fold flat. That is, I'm going to say, very suited to smaller personnel. Now, you're going to find that you got a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster that for the driver, configurable, several different ways that you can configure that. You've got a 13.2-inch touchscreen, which is new for this year. And that's where you're going to find your infotainment, your nav, all your convenience controls. Has Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and they're starting to bring in more of the Google services there. USB-Cs on all levels for all the seats. I really like the way that controls were laid out, particularly the shifter in the console. It's a rotary shifter. I would rather have seen it up on the dash where I had a little more room down on the console, but that's fine. 2.3-liter EcoBoost up underneath the hood, 300 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque, backed by a 10-speed automatic. So you can actually tow 5,300 pounds with this vehicle. Now, the EPA says in the city you should be looking for about 20, highway 27, combined about 23. I drove this vehicle 451.3 miles, got 21.5 miles across that whole thing. And I really like the wide power band because it rolled up pretty quick. When you started it and rolled into it, it was very responsive, nice wide power band, great road manners, very comfortable to drive. Now, the base trim price on this vehicle, $39,785. You're going to find that the base model price was $41,755 as tested, MSRP at $48,520. Something to compare it to, the Kia Telluride starts at $36,390. Mazda CX-90, $37,845, and the Hyundai Palisade at $37,200. Great driving vehicle. I really like driving it. It just should have been a 2-row. Anyway, that's my review of the 2025 Ford Explorer.
You know, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think that gets recalled very much.
No, it doesn't. And like I say, that's the 6th gen. It was introduced in 2020, so they've been tweaking it pretty good for the last 5 years.
Yeah. A friend of mine asked me, I'm really looking at that new Nissan Armada. I said, Wait, well, okay.
It's big.
Why? Well, it's not as big as you think. They've cut back on that. But I told him, this is a first-generation vehicle. You sure you want to get into that? Because you're basically being a test mule.
Yeah, you're
and expect expect problems and expect it to be recalled. It's just part of the deal. You want to be cutting edge, then you're going to have to pay the pony on that one.
Mm-hmm. One of my daughters had one of these about 6 years ago, and she loved it. You know, she drove the wheels off of it.
Yeah.
Literally.
All right. The In Real Time Car Talk Show will continue right after this quick break.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.